All right. It says we are live. So, hello, friends. I am so excited today. I get to hang out with three of the most incredible women that I know um, and just share this time with you. We have another group of amazing souls who have gone through our Made to Do This program. And I want you to be able to hear their stories because I think everybody who we've had come in this group everybody has their own unique take on what their life journey has been like, what their journey has been like finding what their thing is. And it's so inspiring for me to hear everybody's stories and just for all of us to get these different perspectives on what we can do with our lives and the hope that we have and I'm just so excited to dive in. And before we do that, before I turn it over to these women who I adore, I want to give you guys some exciting announcements here. If you didn't see it already in the group, we are going to leave. We were taking the replays down last night, but we got a bunch of messages that people were still going through them. So we're going to leave the replays up until Thursday. So they'll come down Thursday. This group, the made for this group, that archives on Friday. So just to give you guys a heads up there. We also had some amazing bonuses expiring last night. But because Kathy Heller is Kathy Heller and she's the most generous person in the world, we have some new incredible bonuses. We're going to be talking about it more, but I'll just give you kind of a sneak peek of what we have going on because we have the amazing thing about getting to know Kathy and being into any of Kathy's programs. And I said this in one of the chats, but Kathy Heller is like everybody's best friend. Whether you meet her for 30 seconds or you're in a mastermind with her, she immediately surrounds you with love and surrounds you with support. And so she has built this amazing network of friends and just powerhouse people, entrepreneurs in the world. And they're literally like, Kathy, please let us come. Please let us come and share with your people because they have such incredible things to share. So we have 4 new bonuses. I'll post about them in the group, but just to give you a quick rundown, Laura Belgray she is the mastermind behind Talking Shrimp. She is a copywriting genius, and she has an amazing masterclass that you can get as a bonus. You also get a bonus with Jasmine Star, hello, she's amazing. She is a photographer turned Instagram guru turned just inspirational entrepreneur. She's going to do a masterclass on Instagram. We also have Reese Evans, who is all of this stuff that we've been digging out this week. A lot of it has to do with money, our relationship with money, our mindset around money, whether it's things in our childhood or things now, or just how the world has been in general. Getting control of our mindset around money is so important, and it's so powerful, not only for every day that we're living, but for the plans that we have for the future and how far we think we can go and the ways that we can grow as a person, as a business. So we have never had her in one of our classes do a session before. And I'm just so excited that we were able to have her come in. We also have what we have compiled is this amazing guest expert library that these are recorded presentations from a couple from the Arrive Summit, a couple from previous cohorts, a couple from all of these different masterclasses on Facebook ads, on operations, on finding your ideal client, these incredible masterclasses. We're going to give that library to you as well. And these new 4 bonuses expire at midnight tomorrow. So midnight is today's Tuesday, right? Who knows what day it is? I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday, which means these bonuses expire on Wednesday at midnight. Get in the door, take that action. And surprise, if you didn't know this and you've already enrolled for the course, you get every bonus from here on out. All of the bonuses that you qualified for last night. Anything new that we add after you enroll, you get those too. So don't worry about that. Okay, so that's the super fun stuff. Now I want to get into the life-changing. If I cry, darn it, I didn't bring any tissues. I'm probably going to cry. I love these women so much. I have had the pleasure of getting to know them and watching them soar in the most recent Made to Do This cohort. So I'm just going to go around my little grid, and I'm going to start with Jen. Jen, if you want to introduce yourself, tell us about your journey, tell us about your business. I can't wait to hear from you.
Yeah, my name is Jennifer Legra, and my brand is Drinking the Whole Bottle. So, which I find so funny because sometimes people on Instagram will be like, "Hey, drinking the whole bottle," and I'm like, "My name is Jen." So I've built that brand for about 10 years. Like, we moved abroad 10 years ago. We moved to the Dominican Republic. I was 7 months pregnant. We had our first daughter like 2 months later. Then we had the second year that we were there, our son. We were there 6 years. Now we're in Mexico. And I started Drinking the Whole Bottle when I started that journey of living abroad. We had just gotten married. We were having a baby. And it was, while it sounds like it's just about cocktails, the brand and Drinking the Whole Bottle, I say, is a metaphor for life and a confession. I do like wine as well. But the metaphor part is really about like living life uncorked and savoring every drop. And it has changed the way that I live. But for the longest time, I was like, I don't really know what to do with this. Like, my heart is behind writing. I've been a writer since we moved abroad, and just really plugging into the blog and Drinking the Whole Bottle in that direction. And just really, I feel like for a long time I was like, I don't know what to do with this though. Like, I don't know how to continue to do this in a way that serves others, but also like serves me and my family and makes an income. We've been fortunate that we've lived in the Dominican Republic and in Mexico. So like the cost of living here is not as expensive, and we've lived off of my husband's salary. But, you know, at some point, like, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to contribute. And so I just feel like my wheels were spinning for a really long time. And then I don't even know, because I didn't know about the podcast. Somehow Kathy Heller magic like flowed into my Facebook life. And I was like, oh, it's 5-day challenge. Like, that sounds cool. I've done tons of personal development, webinars and workshops, and free this and free that. And what was different, which I think a lot of people could probably relate to, is that she literally just gives you so much stuff in 5 days. And after the first day, I was like, what is this? Like, I've never experienced anything like this before. And so I was hooked. Like, I was there every day for the next bunch of days. And, you know, fast forward, I joined the May group. That was the second time I took the challenge. I took the challenge again this third time because it's just magic. And so I joined the second time. I figured out how to make it work. It definitely, money wise, is like, again, we live off my husband's salary. We live in Mexico, so he makes pesos, which has significantly dropped since March. And I was just like, I need to figure out like what that next place is. I felt like I kept hitting a wall and I couldn't figure out how to move forward. And I knew this was an answer. And so I was like, I'm doing this, we're going all in. As it turned out, we weren't going away for the summer, which we usually do. And I think that was one of those signs that you look for the universe, that is like, you know what, like, stay here and like really dig into this and see what comes out of it. Because usually we'd be visiting family and friends, and I would just not put the time into this that it really deserves. And it just changed everything. It changed everything. Like, I started to see all of these ways that I could monetize this. I started to see all these different ways that I could serve people and help people and work with people. And like, it seemed so basic when I started going through all of the steps, and I was like, how did I never see this before? But I never saw it before. And just working with my small group and the mentors and Kathy and you, and hearing everybody, like the community and the tribe's feedback and what they were doing sparked other ideas. And I mean, it seems crazy to me that that was at this point, I guess, like 14 or 15 weeks ago. But after 12 weeks, I was like, I can't believe that I've spent almost a decade trying to figure this out. And in 12 weeks, it was like, here's all the ways you could grow this.
I love that so much, because I think one of the things that when we're working with people through this challenge, and even people in Made to Do This, I think a big roadblock is, well, I'm going to prioritize this later. And I'm going to join a mastermind, or I'm going to invest in a program. I'm going to do it later, and I'll do it next year. But like, when you think about how much time, like imagine if this had happened 10 years ago, and where you would be right now. And it's that when yes, like you have a wonderful life and husband and, all of those things, but to have this that you has been, your heart's cry, and to see it kind of grow and morph into things that you didn't know it could even be, including an income generator in those 12 weeks, when we're putting things off, all we're doing is pushing our goals off farther and our dreams off farther, when you will be, rather than just trying to figure it out on your own, which you can do. Like, there's free resources out there. There's blogs out there. There's things that you can do to grow your business. It doesn't end if you don't enroll in a program or hire a coach or things like that, but you will, the rate at which you're able to move forward, and the quality steps that you're taking, and to be able to learn from the mistakes other people have made and the experiences other people, so you don't have to make them yourself, is such a gift.
Yeah. And I would say too, the accountability of it. Like, I think sometimes we think we don't need accountability.
Yeah.
And I've learned that in a few different levels with writing, and I had a writing partner, and we were both like, no, we don't need the accountability. We just want to kind of brainstorm together. And then we realized that because we knew we were going to chat every week, like that accountability was like, oh, let me get this done. And I think that's such a big part of it too. Like, you don't think, you're like, I could do this on my own. But then when you have, the implementation sessions, and you're meeting with Kathy, and you have your Q&As, you're like, no, wait, let me get this all together, because this is moving forward, and I'm either moving with it or.
And that was something that we have grown as we've grown the Made to Do This program, is adding those implementation sessions in. Because when you all know, just from these 5 days, Kathy hits you with this like fire hose of like, here's all the inspiration, here's all the strategy, here's all, now go. And sometimes it can be so overwhelming and so much to process. And so the fact that literally every single week, you not only get that live component of teaching, but we get time to come together and implement the different action steps together, and to have that Q&A where, every week, that's something that I do in the Made to Do This program. Every week I go live and answer people's questions. So if it's usually in between the content session and the implementation session, I'll go live in the Facebook group and just answer questions. So like, if you didn't understand a certain way we explained something, or you're not sure how this applies to your business, or you just need to dig deeper, we answer as many questions as we possibly can, even before we get on live back on Zoom to do implementation together. So it's just such a cool experience to do together, where it's not just a lecture. Like, it's not just a college course that you're sitting back, you're taking notes, and you're going to go write your paper. We roll up our sleeves and we're doing this together. So I love that aspect of it.
Oh, it's just, there's so much, like, and you were mentioning all the bonuses before too, like and I had said this, I think, in one of my other many, like, I love this program so much, but I was like, the community alone, like the tribe of people that I've met, and I know Joni and I know Kim, the tribe of people alone is worth its weight in gold. And then there's the content session and the implementation session and the Q&A and all of the master classes and all of the guest speakers and all, I mean, it's just, there's so much that like that it's so easy to feel overwhelmed. And I know all of us at some point were like, oh my God, like what's happening? But that, you know, while you're in it, it feels overwhelming, but it also feels like I'm getting so much out of this and there's so much value in it. And then you do the thing and you get to the other side and you're like, oh, okay. I see now. So yeah, there's just so much. It's unreal how much value there is. Like there would be value just in the content session, the implementation session, and the community. But then on top of that, there's you, there's the other mentors, there's like all of the other speakers that come in. It's just, it's unreal.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, let me, I'm going to go down in my grid to the amazing Nia. If you want to share a little bit about who you are, your story, and yeah, go for it.
Hi, I love this group. Like you guys, like you, Kathy, the whole team is absolutely amazing. I can't praise you guys enough because this program has opened so much for me, like just not in like and for my business, like thinking about things I never thought of before, providing me with a community of like-minded creators, individuals that's starting the same journey I'm starting, and then it's the community. I like Jen said, I can't speak enough about the community, having the pods and meeting other individuals and connecting and networking together and bouncing ideas off. That's, I mean, that in itself was worth everything before you even get to the implementation sessions, the master classes, the other speakers. Everything else to me is a bonus, but that community part is huge because for me, that's always something I've been wanting. Even though you have your family and your friends around you and you can talk to them, but it's not the same. It's not that same kind of energy. And unfortunately, sometimes your family and your friends, they don't get where you're trying to come, where you're coming from. So being in a space with other individuals that's in this same journey, in the same space, it's like is everything. The energy is just is everything. So I can't, like, this program has, for me, has meant a lot. Like I found Kathy about a year ago and I don't even know how I found her. I think I was just looking through iHeartRadio, new podcast, and just don't keep your day job. Oh, okay. I don't want to keep mine. So let's see. As soon as I heard her voice, I was hooked. Her energy is infectious. Just her talking and just wanting to support you and hear your story and encourage you to follow your purpose was for me was everything. So that's how I found it. And I started following the Don't Keep Your Day Job a group on Facebook, and that's where I happened to come across the first challenge, and I was already hooked from the beginning. And then I did the challenge. I was like, I know I have to make this work. I just don't know how. And like the last day, Sunday, because I kept feeling like, how am I going to do this? But I know I need to figure it out. Just something that my spirit said, sign up now, but right now, not later, not tomorrow, because this is it. And I did, and it's been one of the best decisions I ever made. Just like I said, just the community, just create listening, talking to Kathy about an implementation sessions, Q&As, listening to the other speakers, has opened up ideas that I've never thought of for me before. Like I've never thought about doing a podcast. So obviously just thinking about creating a podcast and writing it down and figuring out how I want to make this next move has been amazing. And creating offers and putting them into my business. Look, that's a little backstory about my business. Is I'm an artist and I'm an illustrator, and I create custom artwork and logos for people for business or personal use. So in listening to one of Kathy's podcasts, I came across this. It was Sadie's episode of her talking about creating branding and things for her business, and I was like, oh, I can expand on that. I can expand that into my business since I'm already doing logos. Why not? So just being in that space, listening to other people's journeys and their ideas, and again connecting with these has been amazing. And I guess just a little about myself is like I said, I'm an illustrator and I'm a designer, but I'm also visually impaired. So I have no vision in my left eye. And to me, that's part of my journey and my story as well, because part of my business is I want to inspire people to pursue their purpose, regardless of whatever life may hand you. I've been told no a lot, because of my visual impairment. I've been told to my face, we're not going to hire you for jobs, or you're not going to be able to do this. But I never stopped that from stopping me from moving forward. I was always a determined individual, and I use that fuel to my fire. So I tell my story not for pity. I don't want people to feel sorry for me, because I don't feel sorry for myself. But I tell my story because I want people to be encouraged and inspired by my story. Like, we all have challenges and struggles. So if I can get up and dust myself off and move forward through my challenge, you can do the same thing. We all get up, we all have to move. And I believe we are all given gifts, and we have a plan for our life, and we have to use them. Like, my art is my gift, and I know, and I don't feel like it's work. Like, I was me talking with someone yesterday, like a new client, creating a logo for them, and the energy, we were going back and forth. I was like, I know this is where I'm supposed to be. I said, this doesn't feel like work to me at all. Just talking to you is like, I'm inspired, listening to what you want to bring to life. And I'm like, I got your, I have it already. So just the energy of talking to someone, creating art and being in that space, I know it's where I'm supposed to be. And with Kathy in this program, it's actually helped me expand and reach out to more people, expand my network of people that are doing different businesses that can help me as well as I can help them. So this program has absolutely been everything.
I'm not crying, in case anybody's wondering.
I didn't want to make anyone cry.
I'm not crying at all. And I love your story so much. And guys, if you ever have the pleasure of getting to know Nia and her as a person, she's so generous, and she is so kind and giving. And like, this is who this program attracts. Like, it is really hard with so much going on in the world and so much negativity and people just tearing each other down, to be in this space. Like, light attracts light. And if you think that Kathy Heller's light is bright and that this week has been bright, imagine all of the people that are coming in this community. Because I can guarantee you, any one of the four of us would step up. If somebody needed help, we would be there for them. If someone was having a launch and they wanted us to go and just be in the crowd so that they didn't feel alone, like that's what we do. That's what, especially at our accountability groups, but even just in the group as a whole, like we're there for each other. And there's just this feeling of like, wow, I'm not alone anymore. Like that, for me, even on the other side, I'm coaching in this program, and you just are surrounded by these beautiful, open-hearted people, so giving. Like, none of these people had to be here today. Nobody's here because we're like, oh, we're gonna throw all this stuff at you and we're gonna give, like, no, they're just like, oh my goodness, yes, please let me come to tell how awesome this is, because there is so much here. There's so much connection. There's so much generosity, and it's life-changing for me to know these people, and it's life-changing just for people who are in the cohort as well. Jen, you unmuted yourself. Did you have a?
No, I mean, I agree with everything you're saying. So
okay. I wasn't sure if you had like a PowerPoint to put in there.
So good.
It's so good. Oh my goodness. Kim, my lovely, amazing Kim, my neighbor in Maine, not literally my neighbor, she's a few hours away, but Maine at heart. Amazing story. Kim, I'd love for you to share your story and your journey of where you are now.
Well, I'm so happy to be part of this. I'm so glad you asked me to be on this call. I'm getting feedback. I hope it's not my iPad. So my business is called Unbelievable Freedom, and it all began, my husband and I had a massive weight transformation that came out of a physical and mental health transformation. We lost 200 pounds that we had gained over the course of our marriage, and we wrote a little self-published memoir about it. We called it Unbelievable Freedom because people thought the pictures were unbelievable and we felt like it was just pure freedom. And I was so lit up by what had happened to me and how I wanted to help other people that I left my day job without Kathy there to encourage me to do it, and started to try to turn Unbelievable Freedom into a business. And that created a great big social media following. And I started to try to learn all the things, how to do an email list and how to create offers. And along the way, I got a little overwhelmed that I didn't look like a weight loss success story, that I didn't sound like a social media person. I didn't have the polish. I didn't have the this and that. And so I started creating books, and my books are wonderful. And I would encourage everyone to check them out, the Unbelievable Freedom Habit Guides. But I'd reached a place where I realized I was kind of hiding behind the books. And what I really wanted to tell was, I'm really starting to realize it's kind of a worthiness story. My grandmother was 95 when she passed away, and she passed away when I was the most mired in my misery before my transformation. And when she died, she said, "Enjoy your life." And after she passed away, and she was an original Maine girl, Angela, she's a 95-year Mainer, salt of the earth, stubbornly independent and cheerfully cooperative. But that's all she gave me for advice. She never wagged her finger at me. She just said, "Enjoy your life." And as I tried to figure out what that meant, I started realizing, she wouldn't have said it if I wasn't worthy of it. And so I started to take care of myself in all kinds of different ways and do all kinds of different things. And that's really what this story is. And it was when I heard Kathy on Nancy and Sherry. So, I don't know if I'll cross paths with Sherry in Kathy's orbit, but I'll say, thank you, Sherry, for bringing Kathy onto the podcast. As soon as I heard her talking, I was like, this is someone who's just doing it real, just showing up as herself, just knowing that she's been assigned with this message for people and just being willing to do it. And I was like, I think I could do that too. So I came in the 5-day challenge. I came into the 5-day challenge the way people do. I'm not buying this thing. I'm just here for 5 days to get what I can get for free, which was amazing. And I think I bought it on the Friday. I mean, I think I was just in. I was like, I can't stop doing this. And I'm in Kathy's Momentum Mastermind now because I'm still in a place of, I just can't stop doing this. But I tried to be all over the challenge group this week, just saying, you deserve this. Like, if you've had a hard time taking yourself for a massage or like a fancy cup of coffee, you're worth it. And if you need to be in this program with these people in this energy 24 hours a day for the next 12 weeks and beyond, do it. Just show up for yourself. I never regret when I do that. I find a way and doors keep opening. And I'm just, so grateful. Gratitude is a central energy here in this community. And I love everyone and I love it.
And we love you so much. And I really love what you're saying about finding a way. And, I think some, especially us, like salt of the earth Mainers who like you don't be all fancy and, and take big programs. You just go and you get to work and you get your paycheck and you provide for your family. And that's great. And that's wonderful. But there's so much to be said for how much more you can provide for your family, for how much more you can provide for yourself, and how when you show up as your authentic self in this world, not just for yourself, like that makes the people around you better. When you are your best self, that's a gift to your family. That's a gift to the people around you, to your friends, to your community, because the world doesn't need one more miserable person. Like Kathy was saying, if we were all doing the work we loved, if we were all lit up and were provided for and felt financially stable, if we all had all of those things, don't you think we could solve the world's problems? Don't you think a lot of the world's problems would start to just be more solvable than they are right now? And it's not a matter of, I'm a very practical person, right? Like Kathy and I are so similar in a lot of ways, but we're so different in a lot of ways. I am like the facts and figures and data and like operations and, you know, ducks in a row type person. And so when I'm like, I get it when we hear people in the group saying it's just not like, I don't have an extra $3,000. And the fact is, I don't have an extra $3,000. I don't think any of us do. It's what we prioritize with the resources that we have. It's not about, this program isn't extra. This program is more than your Netflix subscription or, you know, whatever those things are. Like we've literally had people who have driven Uber Eats. They were like, okay, I need to drive this many hours a month to cover my monthly payment. This is worth it. And then they're able to stop that because they're generating income with their business to be able to, and then they're happier and then they're growing and they're making this a priority. And I will never sit here and be like, I'm not, and Kathy won't either. We're never the people who are like, put yourself in financial jeopardy, put it on all your credit card, do whatever. Like, no, be smart, make a plan. Because if this isn't your plan to grow your business, what is your plan? Because I don't want you, none of us here, Kathy, the mentors, we don't want you in the same place that you are right now, a year from now, 6 months from now. So if this isn't your plan, find your plan, make your plan. And if you feel like we are your people and this is the place that you want to learn from, this is the type of community you want to be in, type of business that you want to build, make a plan. Don't be scared by a payment plan or utilizing a credit card in a smart way, but make a plan. So, okay, we have people do dog walking, babysitting. We've had people who have, you know, I think it was somebody in the last cohort was like, hey, I will nanny your kids a few hours a week, you know, and just to find those things, because we just like, it was yesterday. Oh my goodness. Can you guys tell? This has been busy. But yesterday, the Property Brothers were on the podcast, and one of the strongest, most powerful things they said was, nobody is going to fight for your success like you. Nobody's going to make the plan for you. Nobody's going to swoop in and rescue you. Rescue yourself. Be your own stimulus package. Be your own unemployment check. Like all of those things that you are hoping and reaching for and hoping something else happens. Take those action steps and see what you can do to make it happen. And this isn't about, I'm telling you 100% from my heart, and everybody on this grid, we're all like nodding yes, but this isn't about the money. This is about changing your life. This is about the money that you can bring in. This is the financial stability that you can have and the freedom that you can have. Like Kim said, that just unstoppable, unbelievable, incredible freedom when you take control of your own life, and that you refuse to be just another victim of circumstance, because that can be, we've all, like Nia was saying, we've all come against so much. You know, look at, if you stopped right now and you looked at your path to where you are right now, how much have you already been through? How much tragedy, how much difficulty, how much have you been through to get to the point where you are right now? And if this is where you are, how much farther can you go if you let your light shine? And how much of a difference? And don't you dare for a minute say that my cupcakes can't change the world, or that my coaching can't change the world, because you are giving, when you are letting your light shine, you are letting hope into the world. You are letting freedom into the world. And nobody, even if, you know, you're saying, oh, well, you know, well, Nia's already an amazing designer and logo, so I'm not going to go put myself out there because Nia, you know, she's got that covered. What would you say to that, Nia, if somebody was like, well, somebody already is doing that, so I'm not going to do it anymore?
There's thousands of people who did it before me, but the difference is nobody can do what I do. There's 1,000, I mean, I guess the best analogy I can is when you go to the market, when you go to the bread aisle, there are hundreds of different loaves of bread. I mean, but they all taste different. They're not going to be the same. Nobody can do what you can do. Nobody can do what I do. I mean, I want to inspire people to do what they do. I don't want people to mimic what I do, but I want people do it your way. If I inspire you and you take something from, not take something from me, but if you're inspired by something that I've done and you want to recreate it, create it how you see it. I look at other artists and illustrators and just people in general, and I get inspired by their story. I hear a quote that they might say, and I can apply it to my life. I mean, nobody can do what you do. Nobody has your sauce. Other people might try to mimic it or copycat it. It's not gonna taste the same. It's not gonna be the same. Only you can do what you do.
I love it. I love it. Love it so much. And, you know, I think that's one thing that you guys know who have been through the program. We don't hold back. Like, we give you templates, we literally have copy and pasted emails that Kathy has written and been like, here, take this and make it your own, because we're not afraid that you're going to take our stuff and copy it. We want you to take our stuff and we want you to thrive. Not that we want you to go like copy and paste our website and use our images and things like that, but we want to equip you. We want to share what we know has worked for us and has worked in the world, and have you put your own unique spin on it. And there's something to be said for, you know, when we're all together and we are in this community and we've got, okay, like I am a designer, or I know I'm a writer. And because we're so close, like we're this close to our work, it can be really, really hard when you're doing it on your own to be able to zoom out and see all of the possibilities. What makes your writing unique? What's a different way that you could teach that, or a package you could offer or something like that? But when you're in this community, I mean, some of my favorite moments in Made to Do This is when someone's posting and they're saying, oh my goodness, I am stuck. I'm up against the wall. I'm a writer. I don't like, all I do is write this specific writing. There's nothing I can do. And then we've got like hundreds of comments from people in the group saying, oh, hey, but what about doing it this way? Oh, no, wait, you could do it this. Oh, what if you package this and you did this program? And suddenly it's like the wall is broken down. You know, that perspective where you're this close, you know, all of these amazing people in this community just like knock the wall down. And it's like, no, wait, look at the possibilities. And that's something that even if you are super experienced in business, even if you have all of the, you know, support or all of these things, until you have somebody they're coming beside you with the same goals, and they can, you know, you're right here, but they're over here, and they can look down and give you that perspective. It's literally almost impossible to get perspective on your own work or on your own ideas. So that, I feel like, has been such a gift to us. And I know, you know, Jen, when you were talking, you know, about like you had this idea and you had this thing, and then like the possibilities just really went crazy.
Yeah, like everything you're saying sounds so like it's so everything right now, because I've been so close to drinking the whole bottle, and the concept of what I thought it was for so long. And it was like, and I know Kathy talks to this a lot too, which is like, well, I'm a writer, I'm an artist, right? Like we have this idea of what a writer is, or like, you know, we think we have to be like the starving artist in order to be, right? In my mind, it was always like, well, I guess if I'm not as like tortured as Sylvia Plath, like maybe I'm not really a writer, you know? And so I had this idea of what drinking the whole bottle was and what I was as a writer for the longest time. And then, you know, and then there's all these other things that my husband and I would always do. We'd throw these parties and theme parties and lip sync battles and a pub quiz. And we always did all this fun stuff, and we would do it for free. And then, you know, the idea of Husband's Cocktails was like a video series that we did on YouTube. And I was kind of like, oh, what if we do this as almost like, my thought was a podcast, and we make a cocktail and then we do, you know, we'll have like a little podcast type of thing. And then what you were saying, somebody from our group, actually Gina, was like, hey, I have this birthday party coming up with me and some friends. And I think, what if we did like a private party with you and your husband, and you guys walk us through cocktails and we play something? And I was like, that's kind of brilliant, because that sounds awesome anyway. And like, yeah, let's do that. And then from her, like, we booked 2 other parties, and then we started booking all these other like private parties. And we've since done, like, now we're doing monthly ones. We did one in August, the one in September now is coming up. And so that's grown. And then on the other side of it, having been online and just doing social media for so long, another friend reached out and was like, have you ever thought about like coaching people? And I was like, no. And she was like, well, why? Like, you'd be really good at it, and you're super positive, and you know what you're doing, and you don't seem as overwhelmed as I feel, like, as I seem to feel, which I was. But again, like, it was just, I had done it for so long that it came a little bit more second nature to me. And then my husband was like, yeah, I've always thought that, I just never said anything. And I was like, really? Like, what? And so it's just another circumstance where I was so close to everything that I was doing for so long that I never even thought to coach social media and technology. Like, I just thought it was something, again, like another little thing I was good at, but didn't think to put it out there until somebody who was a little further away was like, well, why don't we do this? And going back to what you were saying with time also, like, is $3,000 worth the like 10 years that I spent spinning wheels? Like, I wish I had spent this sooner, right? Because I would have probably come upon the fact that I am good at coaching, and I am good at social media, and I am good at these things that I can do. And I would have had the courage and the confidence to put it out there. But I didn't come across Kathy Heller 10 years ago. And I didn't have a person that I felt like could teach me and coach me in the way that you guys all have. And so 10 years later, it's taken me this long to teach myself all of these things. Like, I've taught myself, all the Instagram and Canva and Facebook and how to organize myself. Like, I've taught myself that. And you were saying before, like, you could do that. You could teach yourself those things. But I'm here 8 to 10 years later, and it takes you a long time, right? So just like finding a person that you feel you're in connection with, that you could learn that from, and 12 weeks later, there's a whole shift in everything you do. Like, realizing that now, that is money well spent, right? Because the amount of time you're going to save teaching yourself to do those things is just, it's worth it to just, that 12 weeks results here, move, you can do this, has given me so much more than I've had in the 10 years that I've been doing this on my own, right? That I've taught myself and I can do it, but now I can teach others to do it, not because I couldn't before, but because now I have the confidence and I know the steps that I have to take because I learned it with you guys.
And I always say that when it comes to made to do this, there's literally 2 categories of people who come. People who think they know what they're doing, and people who have no idea what they're doing. And both types of people, when you join the program, the entire foundation of this program, before we dive into pricing strategies and social media and outreach and all of the things that we cover in this program, we go right back to that foundation of Ikigai. Who are you? What do you enjoy doing? What are you good at doing? What does the world need? And what can you get paid for? No matter where you are, whether you think you have an idea or you have zero idea, we walk you through that foundation and we help you draw that out, not just conceptually, like we teach you what those 4 things are, but those small accountability groups, the community, that perspective that you literally cannot get on your own, to help you draw out what those things are, to help you start testing these ideas and get feedback on things, because you don't have to, you don't need to have a fully fleshed out idea or thought or specific thing you want to do to be really successful in this program. And also, if you think you already have your idea down pat, come in with an open mind and an open heart that we might help you just revolutionize that. And it might be something totally different that we land on, and it might be just a new, more expansive version of the ideas that you already have in your head. So don't be discouraged. I saw some questions like, well, I have no idea what I want to do. I can't do this until I have an idea. Or I've had people say, I'm going to go try this, and then if it works, I'll come and do the program. Which everybody do what you feel is most genuine to you, but you will have so much more
Just a minute.
guidance if you can help you know how to test things the right way, how to put things out in the world the right way, how to know if something's working or not working. Because I know some of us, like, we'll put an offer out there or we'll try something and it's like, oh no, crickets, nobody bought it, it's a failure, I'm going to scrap it all. No, Kathy says failure is feedback. So we talk about in the program what to do when you don't feel like something went as well as you wanted, how to look at that and take that feedback and make something even more amazing that can really meet the needs of the people in the world around you. So, Kim.
I just have one more thing I want to say about the energy of being in the community and being surrounded. Coming from spending quite a bit of time in online weight loss communities, like one of the things I liked about being part of those communities, even though there's a good deal of struggle there, but it's an energy of transformation. It's an energy of people who are becoming a better version of themselves. And I loved that part of it. And it made me hang around a lot longer than some people do and sort of continue to bring that energy to my own community. But being in Made to Do This is like every single day, you're just seeing other people. Like, it's why I came for the challenge. I mean, I came to support Kathy and try to show my gratitude for what she's done for me, but just being surrounded by all these people who are tapping into what they really want to do, who they really want to be, and thinking about that and starting to break that down, because we're all just in our own way. And it's like when you see other people getting out of their own way, you just inevitably start to do that too. So for me, I've been listening to all of us talk, and like the value is so clearly there, and then some, and then some, and then some. But just to be in this energy for those 12 weeks would have made it still way worth the money that I spent, because where can you get that? Especially because we were doing it when lockdown was still so extreme and I really needed that. But where can you get surrounded by other people who are just leveling up and opening up and transforming into a better version of themselves? Like, we all should be tapped into that whenever we can, because so many places in life people are stuck and stagnant and same.
So good. So good. And it's not being satisfied. Like, if you leave things the way they always were, they will always be the same way. You don't have to do things the way they've always been done. You don't have to live in the mindset that has always been in your life, generationally, culturally, like whatever your thing is, nothing will change until you change. And that's to be surrounded with people who are like, hey, I'm going to walk beside you through this change, and I'm changing too. And it's hard. And guys, there's tears sometimes as we're, working through all this, but you're not alone. And that transformation is just so powerful. And being around people, like we're such a diverse group. We have people all over the world, people from all different backgrounds, and yet we're so united. Kim and I, we were just talking about this in the mastermind group, that like, what we have people from all, like, who's our target client here with this Made for This challenge? Because there's every type of person, every type of ability, every type of background, every type of culture, everything is here. But what unites us is that transformational mindset, and that mindset that the world can be a better place, and it can be a better place because I'm in it, and because I'm going to let my light shine. And owning that is like, woo, that's what will change the world one person at a time. And I'm just so thankful for everybody on this call. I didn't get hysterical, guys. I held it together. I only cried a little bit. And just thank you guys all. Oh, go ahead. I see.
I just wanted to add too, like, I think if you're, like you're saying, the whole let your light shine type thing. And again, going back to like my thought of I'm a writer and this is what I do. And I remember how I would feel when I would write something and one person would email me and say, and I'm not going to cry either. Let me just give myself a moment. And they would respond back and be like, that totally changed my day. That like, I felt like I was alone. I wrote an article once and it was on the Huffington Post about like breastfeeding and how it totally didn't work for me. And it was such a disaster. And I felt like such a failure. And I wrote about it, and a couple people, but like a friend wrote me and was like, I felt so alone until I read this and then realized that like this happens to other people. We just don't talk about it. And that was that one email made, like, I was floating for weeks and months after that. And I was like, oh, right. That's why I share my message. That's why I write. That's what I do, what I do. And so to think, when you expand and you shine your light a little bit brighter, if I could then share that with 5 people who feel alone, or 10 people, or or more, it's just, and I know you guys say this a lot, like, it's selfish of you to not then share, or to to shine your light brighter. It's selfish for you to not do that, because who knows like who's waiting somewhere in the darkness, reading, scrolling like I do it at night, reading other people's stories, and some people feel really alone. And if you have that ability and those messages and that way to kind of reach others and to help them feel less alone, like, it's your responsibility to do it, right? Which you guys say all of the time. And that was definitely a mind shift for me too, that it was like, this isn't about me putting out, like, my work and my writing and my blog and my message. It's like, no, what is this then doing for other people who read it and respond to you and say, like, that really helped me when I was in a tough place, and like, is there anything better that we could do as like humans for each other? And I don't think there is. And you guys
I
are
don't think
examples of that.
I don't think there is. I really don't. And just thank you all for taking time, just out of your own generosity and goodness, to come and hang out with me and to share with this a huge, amazing group of people who've been here this week. And again, we have those new bonuses. I'll post about them in the group so you guys can see kind of the details of what they are. New bonuses expire tomorrow, Wednesday at midnight. Thank you so much for joining, everybody who could watch live or on the replay, and have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.
Angela,
Bye.
bye, everybody.
Bye.